the NDA is 5, the India Alliance is 2. If I come now to Marathwada, of the 7 leads that we have, split, dead heat, 3-3-1. If we now come to Mumbai, in Mumbai 3-3, very tight battle in Mumbai as well. If we come to northern Maharashtra, 3-3, tight battle in North Maharashtra as well. Of the 10 seats, the NDA doing well here, 7 versus 3. If we now come to western Maharashtra, 3 versus 4 of the 9 leads that we have in western Maharashtra. Uttar Pradesh, the India Alliance in front. In Maharashtra, a very tight battle is Rajdeep.
Yeah, but you know, Uttar Pradesh is, as of now, clearly the story. If this lead holds, this is a remarkable turnaround. Remember, 2014, 2017, 2019, 2022 Assembly, 4 elections in a row, BJP dominated. You've got the Yogi Modi double engine that's been spoken about here. If in the state where the Prime Minister is contesting, and in Varanasi also we are seeing a tough fight, Ajay Rai is giving the Prime Minister a tough fight in Uttar Pradesh, which is a sign of the times. If the Prime Minister is facing a tough fight in these early rounds with Ajay Rai, it's a sign of the times in Uttar Pradesh. Yes, go ahead.
I'm just going to ask you, Rajdeep, may I gloat because you do it all the time? When I came back from UP, what did I tell you?
Absolutely. Preeti said it is a tough fight and she expects the BJP to face a tough fight from the opposition.
So, Rajdeep, can we say Uttar Pradesh ke ladke, they have arrived?
No, let's not say.
Let them arrive a few months later.
At 12 o'clock, if these results hold, I'll say they have arrived. Let's not get excited.
If they are still at the party at noon, then they may have arrived. At this moment, they're dancing at the gates. The Bharat is still to come to the hall.
Also in the state of Karnataka, a state where, remember, the opposition needs a double-digit lump. At the moment, they're 11. NDA 17, so they're not getting wiped out in Karnataka as well.
One of the, Gujarat was seen virtually as a banker state of sorts. Of the 22 leads the NDA has, the Congress also has 4. So it's 4 versus 22 in Gujarat. From there, if I come just for a moment to Rajasthan and show you what's happening on the 25 seats of Rajasthan. On the 25 seats of Rajasthan, it's 13 versus 11. Congress up 10 seats from the last time. This is very different from what the exit polls were showing, and quite remarkably so, making this election and this morning extremely exciting. On the 17 seats of Telangana, we have leads for 15 seats. The NDA is leading on 9, the Congress on 5, the BRS has been wiped out, down 7 from the last time. From there, let's now come to Punjab and show you what's happening in Punjab. In Punjab, the Congress is on 6 seats, down 2. The AAP is on 3, up 2. The NDA, which is the BJP in this case, is leading on only 1. Rajdeep spoke about Karnataka. Let's spend a moment on Karnataka. On the 28 seats of Karnataka, the NDA is leading on 17, down 9. The India Alliance on 11, up 10, Rajdeep.
Let's go to Preeti Chaudhary. She's the one who's been telling me UP will be tight, Rajdeep. Remember, I've come from there. I've seen enough signs of dissent. Take it away, Preeti, and tell us what's happening across Uttar Pradesh.
Well, only as of now, it does look very tight, down to the wire. Let's look at the 80 seats and the trends coming in on those 80 seats in the state of Uttar Pradesh. I'm standing by the ghats of Varanasi, and right now things not looking very good where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. Well, this is what it looks like. The BJP 34, the Samajwadi Party and the Alliance at 34. Even keel, BSP leading on 1 and the Congress at 1. So Congress plus 34 of the Samajwadi Party, 40. So the Alliance right now leading in the state of Uttar Pradesh. The BSP leading on just 1. The Bharatiya Janata Party on 34. So this is what it looks like right now in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Let's quickly look at vote share. We showed you the seat share. Moving on to vote share in UP. 43.5% Bharatiya Janata Party, the Samajwadi Party at 31.2%, 11.7% for the Congress, BSP at 9.2%. It's changing as I speak, but Rajdeep, look at the Congress figure there. 11.4% for the Congress, way more than even the BSP.
You know, the fact is, of course, the Congress is coming on the back of the Samajwadi Party. The story, though, is when they've come together, they came together in 2017, it didn't work. Look at how India changes. You know, nothing is static in this country. Between 2017 UP, when the UP ke ladke, as Rashid called them, was simply decimated, to 2024. there is a change that has taken place on the ground to the extent that as the election got more and more localized, the local factors that Preeti you spoke about when you were traveling through UP, many of them are coming to the fore. Paper leaks, berozgari, concerns over the way MPs from outside were brought in, or MP candidates from outside. I'm looking at a seat like Jaunpur. There you had Kripa Shankar Singh, former Mumbai Congress chief, was brought in. He's trailing at the moment. So you've got the BJP also getting a bit of a reality check this morning. And that's why the result has tightened. Yes, Shankar, you wanted to make a point.
So in the Hindi hard belt, the losses reflect actually the economic reality of unemployment and agricultural distress. Because these are rural agrarian states, there have been issues about Agniveer and other...
but you think rural distress is a big factor. Preeti, you want to turn to the state of Rajasthan, another state that you travel through.
Well, let's look at Rajasthan now. It was a clean sweep, mind you, in 2019. Rajasthan gave the BJP the maximum vote share at 57%. 2019 was concerned. Let's look at Rajasthan now. Like they say, in Hindi, kis taraf oont baithega Rajasthan pe. Take a quick look. We begin with seat share. Let's look at that. Right now, the BJP at 13, Congress 9, others at 3. The others will include Barmed, it will include RLP, which is Nagaur, and one more, which is, I think, it could include Sikar, which is all part of the India Alliance, other than Barmed seat, where Ravindra Bhati is taking place. Let's look at now the vote share in the state of Rajasthan on the 25 seats. What does it look like? What's
happening in Rajasthan, Preeti, is very simple. The entire belt, and this is a story in itself. You go from eastern Rajasthan into Haryana. That a large part of it is the Jat belt of the country. That is where the BJP is taking a hit. When you go from eastern Rajasthan, you're looking at seats that border Dausa, Churu, Ganganagar, Junjunu, Sikar, Dausa, Bharatpur,
Karoli, these are the areas.
You see, when you start winning that, there is a trend that's emerging.
If you start winning east in Rajasthan, you have it in the bag because you've been able to get the castes to come together, which usually never do.
And it's also spread to Haryana. If you turn then from there into Haryana at the moment, in Haryana, look at what is happening. You're finding an election and a half. It's 6 to the India Alliance and 4 to NDA. So Haryana, eastern Rajasthan,
What I look in Haryana, Rajdeep, I will look at only the seat of... If the Congress is leading in Gurgaon, if the Congress can lead in a seat in Gurgaon, then there's trouble for the BJP in Haryana.
6 seats that the India Alliance is leading there. Sirsa, where you've got Kumari Shelja, Kurukshetra, where you've got Sushil Gupta of AAP, Ambala at the moment, Sonipat, which they expected or were hoping to win, Rohtak, where Dipinder Hooda is winning, and Gurgaon, Raj Babbar Sher at the moment, he's turning out to be Babbar Sher. And remember, this is against an MP.
I don't think he realized, Rajdeep, I don't think he realized he was going to be Babbar Sher.
Okay, Rahul Verma wants to give a sobering note.
Yes, let's not go too far on making theories at this moment. The reason being, when the EVMs open, they open from urban areas first, right? That's how polling stations are numbered. So it can't be rural distress that starts reflecting in urban areas.
No, but the trend that Haryana and eastern Rajasthan are where India Alliance doing well.
So I just asked somebody at the election commission how many rounds of counting had happened, and that becomes very important. So the average is about 3 or 4 rounds of counting. In some states, 6 rounds of counting have happened, and in some it's lesser, but the average is about 3 or 4.
Also tell there are at least 30-40 rounds.
At least 22 and above. So basically, there is plenty of counting still to go.
Viewers need to know, an average Indian constituency is about 20 lakhs. Out of 20 lakhs, let's assume 75% vote. So you've got 16, 17 lakh votes per constituency. That's a hell of a lot. Yes. You know, at the moment, you've only done about 1 or 2 lakhs at best. You've got 14 to 15 lakhs to go. So that's why we are, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but we've got to report in real time as it is. In real time, Rahul, it appears that it's a tighter contest than the polls predict.
Jairam Ramesh has something to say at this moment. Let's listen to the Congress's media in charge.
पहले कभी नहीं हुआ है कि प्रधानमंत्री खुद अपने ही सीट में पीछे चल रहे हैं. ये तो ट्रेलर है. जो नतीजे दिखाई दे रहे हैं वाराणसी में, प्रधानमंत्री कह रहे थे ट्रेलर ट्रेलर ट्रेलर, तो आज उनके ट्रेलर दिखाई दे रहा है.
Ramesh, he's got some josh, his mojo is back.
That is quite a story, Rahul. The Prime Minister trailing. Remember, Ajay Rai contested against the Prime Minister 2014 and 19, lost. This time, as of now, he's leading. Remember, Raj Narayan, The socialist leader is remembered 50 years later for one reason. He defeated the mighty Indira Gandhi in 1977. Will Ajay Rai be turn out to be the Raj Narayan of today? As of now, it's too early to say, but he is leading at the moment. Improbable, but we've got to, I report in real time. In real time, Ajay Rai is leading the Prime Minister of the country. That is a story and a half. That is the story.
So Rajdeep,
Wake up.
Even if Prime Minister wins, but their margin declines considerably, that is going to be a story.
But let me excite Rajdeep a little bit more.
No, don't excite.
What if Chandrababu Naidu decides to switch and go to Congress?
He's not going to switch.
No, he's
I'm
not.
just asking, I'm giving you more hopes.
I have no hopes. Look, boss, I am in my, as I call, slog overs of
BJP is
elections.
stuck at 240 as of now.
Yeah.
What if things start changing with the alliance
As of now,
partners?
in Andhra Pradesh, just to answer your question, NDA leading in 21, the BJP is leading in a couple of them. They contested 6. Babu is leading in 19. And YSRCP is leading in 4. So Babu is having his moment as Sudhir. You remember Babu from the 90s and early 2000s when he was kingmaker.
When every time when he would come to Delhi, I mean, the red carpet would be laid out for him. All the ministers would be waiting for Chandrababu Naidu at Andhra Bhavan, which was the hub of activity. An interesting trivia. Yesterday was World Bicycle Day. The two parties with the bicycle as a symbol are doing well.
Okay, remember entrepreneurs. It was the age of the entrepreneurs. You remember that?
So Chandrababu Naidu used to reach the Prime Minister's office via Planning Commission, first allocate himself funds and then go to the PM's office.
Okay, there is another interesting candidate that has just been told, a VVIP who's trailing, Arun Govil Ram. The man who played Ram. And remember, here we saw those who went to Meerut said a lot of dissatisfaction among the local BJP over Arun Govil's candidature.
That's a part of the story, but also one has to give it to candidate selection. The Samajwadi Party fielded a Jatav from the seat of Meerut and took away a lot of the Dalit votes.
Okay, let's go through the VIP candidates.
Can you go to VIP candidates if I may ask you from Maharashtra for a moment?
No, so can I just zip through in the order in which they're coming? A. Raja currently leading on the reserved seat of Nilgiri in Tamil Nadu. Abhishek Banerjee leading in Diamond Harbour in West Bengal. Adhiranjan Chaudhary leading currently in Behrampur. Agatha Sangma trailing in Tura. Ajay Nishad of the Congress trailing in Muzaffarpur. Amit Shah leading in Gandhinagar. Akhilesh Yadav leading in Kannauj. Anand Sharma of the Congress trailing currently in Kangra. Anil Baluni leading currently in Pauri Garhwal in Uttarakhand. Anupriya Patel of the Apna Dal now leads in Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. Anurag Thakur of the BJP leading currently in Hamirpur. Parajita Sarangi leading currently in Bhubaneswar. Arjun Ram Meghwal leading in the reserved seat of Bikaner. Arjun Munda on the reserved seat of Khunti in Jharkhand. He's currently leading. Arun Govel is trailing in Meerut. Ashok Tawar on the reserved seat, now on a BJP ticket, is trailing in Sirsa. Asuddin Owaisi leading in Hyderabad. B.Y. Raghavendra, BSY's son, leading in Shimoga. B. Sriramalu is trailing currently in Bellary. Bansuri Swaraj of the BJP leading in New Delhi. Basavraj Bomai trailing in Haveri. Bhupender Yadav in Alwar in Rajasthan is currently leading. C.R. Patil leading quite naturally in Navsari. Charanjit Singh Channi on the reserved seat of Jalandhar is currently leading. This is a traditional Congress bastion. Bhupesh Baghel in Rajnandgaon. He was complaining about EVMs and how they'd been switched. He's currently leading in Chhattisgarh's Rajnandgaon. C.N. Manjunath up against D.K. Shivkumar in D.K. Shivkumar's brother, D.K. Suresh in Bangalore rural is currently trailing. Deepender Huda in Rohtak is currently leading. Dharmender Pradhan in Sambalpur in western Orissa is leading. Gaurav Gogoi in Jorhat in Assam is leading. Hanuman Beliwal is leading in Nagaur. Giriraj Singh in Begusarai on the BJP's ticket is leading. Gajendra Shekhawat in Jodhpur is leading. Dimple Yadav in Mainpuri is leading. In Rajgarh, Digvijay Singh now trails. Dharmender Yadav, Akhilesh's cousin in Azamgarh is leading. D.K. Suresh is leading in Bangalore rural. G. Kishan Reddy, Minister of State for Home, is leading. Harsimrat Kaur Badal now leads in Bathinda. H.D. Kumaraswamy in Mandya on a JDS ticket is leading. Hema Malini in Mathura is leading. Jagdambika Pal in Domariaganj is trailing. Jagdish Shettar in Belgaum is leading. Jitin Prasad in Pilibhit on a BJP ticket is trailing at this moment. K.S. Ishwarappa in Shimoga is trailing. Kangana Ranaut is leading. Kanhaiya Kumar is trailing. Kani Modi is leading. K.C. Venugopal now leading. Lokit Chatterjee is leading on a BJP ticket. Hooghly Kirti Azad is leading. Kiran Rijiju, Arunachal West is leading. It is very, very exciting, Rajdeep, this.
It is getting exciting, and I just wanted to know, to add to the excitement, can you give me a breakdown, Rahul? I think we can see it on the right of your screens, of 289 and 221 of the India Alliance. Who are the, when you say NDA 289 and when you say India 221, can you give me a breakdown?
I can do that, and since it was mentioned that the Prime Minister was trailing, I now want to mention that in Varanasi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is now leading.
Which is not surprising. We expect him to win, but margins may come down.
Mehbooba Mufti in Anantnag Rajouri is trailing on a PDP ticket. Misa Bharti is trailing in Patliputra against Ram Kirpal Yadav. Naveen Jindal in Kurukshetra at this moment is trailing in Chhindwara. Nakul Nath on that Congress bastion of Chhindwara, he's currently trailing. Nitin Gadkari is leading in Nagpur. Nityanand Rai is trailing in Udaipur. Pappu Yadav in Purnia, on an independent candidate, is leading. Piyush Goyal in Mumbai North is leading. Parneet Kaur in Patiala, Captain Amrinder's wife, on a BJP ticket, still trailing. Prajwal Revanna is now trailing in Hassan. Prajwal Revanna is trailing in Hassan. Purushottam Rupala in Rajkot is leading. Prahlad Joshi in Dharwad, he is leading. Rahul Gandhi is leading in Wayanad. Rajiv Chandrasekhar in Trinavantapuram is trailing. Rajnath Singh, the defense minister, is leading in Lucknow. Raj Babbar in Gurgaon is leading. In Saran, Rajiv Pratap Rudy on a BJP ticket is trailing. Ravi Kishan in Gorakhpur is leading. Ravi Shankar Prasad at this moment in Patna Sahib is behind. Sangeeta Deo in Bolangir is leading. Sanjeev Balian in Muzaffarnagar is trailing. Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Vidisha is leading. Somnath Bharti is trailing in New Delhi. Smriti Irani trailing in Amethi. Shrikant Shinde, Eknath Shinde's son in Kalyan is trailing. Now this is interesting as well. Shrikant Shinde, the Chief Minister's own son, trailing in Kalyan.
Can you give us, Rahul, that breakdown of parties?
Okay, here it is. 290 leads for the NDA, down 53 seats from the last time. The BJP at 242, not close to 272 at this moment. We have 541 leads, only 2 seats from where we don't have leads. The BJP still quite short, at least 30 short of the majority mark. The Janata Dal United is at 7, Apna Dal is at 1, 290 leads for the NDA, down 90. The India is having a good morning. 102 leads, century for the Congress at this moment in the lead. Samajwadi Party is the story of the election, currently leading on 33. The Trinamool leading on 21. The opposition will say, see, we told you so. All these were Modi's fantasy polls just at least at this moment.
No, look, if these polls hold, if these numbers hold, it clearly shows none of the exit pollsters have got it right. And in fact, the reporters who are saying it's a tighter contest have done better place than the exit pollsters. So sometimes there's a difference between reporters and exit pollsters. As of now, if these numbers hold, I won't have to do a dance, because the dance is done only when we get our polls spot on. I'm very happy not to dance and have all the mithai that you want to serve. Both sides can send me laddu and chole bhature. But Rahul, what we are seeing in this election is clearly a change in the map of the country. What was the map of the country in the last two elections?
I can show that to
2014 and 19, BJP dominated North and West.
Okay,
now you've got them becoming competitive.
We worked really hard on the election intelligence dashboard. And the power of the election intelligence dashboard only comes alive if it's a tight election. No matter who wins or loses, we've got no skin in the game. But this is where the power of the elections comes in.
Rahul, can I join you there for a moment?
Yes, please do. So this
because I think this is the story of the election so far.
On one side of the screen is the 2019 results. You see how that's now changing. Where are the changes happening, Rajdeep? The changes are happening in Rajasthan. Don't touch the screen, it will jump. So the changes are happening in Rajasthan. Massive changes in Uttar Pradesh. Changes also in Maharashtra. Yes.
You see, if you look at 2014, Rahul, if you look at 2014 and 19, this entire stretch, all the way from Goa to Jharkhand, across Bihar, the Hindi heartland, right up to Himachal Pradesh was completely saffron. Now when you look at it in 2024, take a look at how the change is taking place. You're seeing blue emerging gradually across the Hindi heartland and in Western India. So what was a northwest monsoon in 2019 is now less of it. It's less intense. It is still the BJP's advantage because of the Chhattisgarh, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. There the BJP continues to dominate. How is the BJP being saved? Take a look at what is happening across the eastern coast of the country, Rahul. Here, if you see, this was dominated by others, parties like Jagan Mohan Reddy, Biju Janata Dal, TRS last time. Now there's a saffron edge to Odisha, to Telangana, down into parts of Andhra Pradesh. So the NDA is actually, the map of India has changed. The map which was northwest dominated of Saffron is being saved possibly by peninsular India as of now if these numbers
And there
hold.
are serious reverses in the initial trends for the BJP in Rajasthan. There are massive reverses in Uttar Pradesh, major reverses in Haryana as well, and surprisingly reverses in Gujarat also. These are initial trends, but these would have BJP leaders, workers, karyakartas quite perturbed.
That's what I said. This election is seeing a rotation of the map, and it doesn't happen too often. What is happening in your own bastions, you're losing out, and you're finding new areas of growth. For the India Alliance, on the other hand, where they got their alliance arithmetic right, they've done well. Plus, the Congress actually is competing with the BJP in some direct contest, which never happened in 2014 and 19. So that's the real swing taking place.
Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool would love this. In the leads that we have so far, the Trinamool is leading on 21, one ahead of the BJP. BJP leading on 20. The battle here was who will be ahead. Trinamool thought they'll be at least a little
This will
ahead.
go to the wire. This will go to the wire.
Everything is going to go to the wire.
What it does suggest, and I've said this before, Rahul, that there are certain regional leaders who you can't write off so easily. They remain, Naveen Patnaik obviously has exhausted himself, it appears, as of now. Though in the assembly it's tight. If you can show me the Odisha assembly, you'll find it's tight.
I'm going to do that in a moment. Pawan Khera is speaking at the moment. The Congress has got its mojo back. Let's listen to what Pawan Khera is saying.
देखें तो जो आंकलन दिए जा रहे थे उसके विपरीत हरियाणा में काफी अच्छा प्रदर्शन आप लोग कर रहे हैं।
इससे भी बेहतर होगा, अभी 1-2 घंटे और इंतजार कीजिए।
शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए। पवन खेरा यहाँ पे कहते हुए कि उनको पूरा इस बात का विश्वास।
Telangana, the NDA is improving its performance in the 17 seats of Telangana. Currently, the BJP has 9 leads, up 5 from the last time. The Congress has 5 leads, up 2. The BRS in Telangana has crashed down 7 seats from the last time. If we go now, I want to go to some key battleground states. Let's go for a moment to Kerala as well. On the 20 seats of Kerala, the Congress currently has, the UDF has 18, the NDA has 1. The NDA has 1 seat, which is Thrissur. The UDF has 18, which is kind of where they were. The last time out of these 14 are the Congress, 2 are IUML. Kerala Congress is 1. The LDF, the CPM, has 1 lead currently. From there, let's go to Odisha, where the exit polls are predicting one-way traffic in favor of the BJP. It is still quite that way. 17 for the BJP, 2 for the BJD. That's down 10. So in Odisha, the exit polls, at least at this moment, don't seem to be wrong. From there, let's head to Rajasthan, because it's in Rajasthan that we are seeing major changes. In Rajasthan, out of the 25 seats in Rajasthan, the NDA has 13, down 11. The Congress is leading on 11, up 10. Out of this, the ally RLP has won. The Congress is 9. Congress leading on Badmer, Bharatpur, Churu, Dausa, Ganganagar, Jaipur Rural, Junjunu, Karauli, Dholpur, Nagaur, Sikar and Tong. Those are the leads that the Congress has in Rajasthan. Let's also go to Haryana. In the Hindi heartland, Congress getting some good trends to hold on to. 6 leads for the Congress, 4 for the NDA. The Congress has 5, AAP has 1. Ambala, Gurgaon, Kurukshetra, Rohtak, Sirsa and Sonipat. From there, just for a moment, let's go across to Jammu and Kashmir. Always interesting to see what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir. Elections returning to Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation of 370. The BJP leading on Jammu and in Udhampur. The India Alliance is leading on 2, out of which 1 is Srinagar, the other is Anantnag Rajouri. Those are the leads, Rajdeep, from Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, let's Pawan Khera speaking to Maushmi Singh now in English. Let's listen in for a very quick moment.
Including Varanasi, where the Prime Minister is struggling on his own seat, 2 rounds, and he was trailing, and now he's leading by 600 odd votes. That suggests that I think the BJP and all its ecosystem, including a lot of national media, failed to read what's happening. I remember last 2-3 days ago, one channel, an anchor said that why are we wasting our time on the opposition? They don't matter. Well, I hope that anchor is listening to what I'm saying and what the people of India are saying.
Thank you very much for talking to us. That was Pawan Khera responding to the initial trends that are pouring out as far as the Lok Sabha results are concerned. With video journalist Satya Rotre, this is Maushmi Singh in Delhi for India Today.
Well, if these numbers hold, exit pollsters will have a lot to answer for. Clearly, each and every exit pollster has got this poll wrong if these numbers hold. And I keep adding if because we've just had a couple of rounds that have been polled so far. Counting also has been slow because there has been checking and rechecking that's taking place. There is a lot of confusion in different parts of the country where candidates who are trailing want a recount even round by round. So you will see these numbers potentially changing at the moment. But Preeti, you've got a story to tell us from Rajasthan, a state that you traveled extensively through. And at the moment, as per the numbers that you had shown us, the Congress is actually leading the BJP in Rajasthan 13-11. Am I right?
Well, it's now gone even keel, so they are now practically at the same. But yes, I went to Rajasthan, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, Rajdeep, and I thought when I came back, I went to a very different election than what most people were talking of. And all these three states are seeming to at least turn on what they were the last time around.
See, about Rajasthan, this is also success of state Congress that Govind Singh Dotasra, who's a Jat, and tried to mobilize. No, there were candidates who were not willing. In Jhunjhunu and Dausa, people were not willing to contest.
Let's turn to the four swing states. There were swing states that I called, which I believe would decide who stood where. One was Karnataka. Remember last time Karnataka was a sweep for the BJP, 25 out of 28. What is it this time? 16 NDA and India 12. So it's tightened there. It's a tight race in Karnataka. The margin is very low. It's a gain of 11 for India in Karnataka. Let's turn to the next swing state, the state of Maharashtra. BJP had won 41 out of 48, or NDA. What is it looking like this time? 25-20. It's tightened there in Maharashtra. So that's a loss of 12 for the NDA there, a gain of 20. Let's turn to the next swing state and the biggest state in the country that is really throwing up the result at the moment of 2024. Look at this result. This is the result of 2024 at 10 a.m. in the morning. The one that could change, but for now is clearly a signal. No char so par. 37 to the NDA, 41 to India Alliance. Who would have thought this, that India Alliance would actually pull ahead? Most people said 40 or 35, but the NDA would be ahead. This time, it looks like Uttar Pradesh is turning out to be the Ulta Pradesh of this election. Let's turn to the next swing state, the state of Bihar. Remember, Bihar last time was another state that was swept by the NDA, 39 out of 40. What's it showing? 25 plays 13. Tejaswi Yadav, the superstar at the moment of Bihar politics, 265 rallies, more than anyone else, 13. But the NDA holding its own in terms of being ahead 2-1, down only 8. Not as bad as Uttar Pradesh. Two more swing states, the state of West Bengal. Remember, Mamata Banerjee is fighting for her political life there literally, because she's got an assembly election in 18 months from now. BJP 17, TMC now 23. Mamata pulling ahead, and I can tell you that she said exit pollsters will have to apologize if she turns out to be ahead of the BJP. So we'll see how that plays out there. But the other one is Odisha. And the story of this election is BJP not doing so well in the Hindi heartland, but growing in new parts. 17. Look at this. Remarkable performance by the BJP. BJD down to 2. India Alliance, the Congress leading in 2. Finally, Telangana, which also will tell you how the election is shifting. Here you've got the NDA 10. Remember, Congress ruled government, BJP had 4 last time. It's a gain of 6. So the BJP is gaining Telangana, Odisha, and finally Andhra Pradesh. Is this Chandrababu Naidu, CBN, back in form? Out of the 25 seats here, NDA leading in 21, up 18. So you look at these states, the losses that they are taking, a big hit in Uttar Pradesh, in Maharashtra, in to some extent Bihar, is being compensated by Andhra Pradesh. They're leading in 18, YSRCP, and they're losing in the assembly as well. So Rahul, we've got a new map of India. It's the east, which is the lotus is being saved by the east when it's losing out in the north.
What's most important is we work
I'm getting a bit of a heart attack with the noise. So
not with the number, no.
I need to sit.
They will say that maybe it's a heart attack with the numbers. No,
numbers are not a heart attack. I can live with all numbers.
The fact is that the election intelligence dashboard just took so much effort to bring alive. And if it had been one-way traffic, it would have been no fun.
Remarkable.
Yeah, the moment it... What is remarkable?
To you and your team, the dashboard.
No, so we'll still hold our horses, but if you want insights, no matter where you are in this country, This is commentary on what's happening at this moment. Nothing and no one can provide you the kind of insights that the India Today election intelligence dashboard can do in live, real time. 289 leads for the NDA, 54 down from the last time. The BJP at this moment only at 243 leads. They're struggling even to get to 272. The Janata Dal United at 7. The Apna Dal not leading on any. The India Alliance is leading on 223. That's 96 up from the last time. The Congress is hitting 100 at this moment. The big story is the Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh Yadav rampaging in Uttar Pradesh with 34. The Trinamool at 24. If I go region by region and give you a quick sense of what's happening in the north, the NDA is down 37 seats. The India Alliance is up 41 seats. 59 versus 59. Close battle in the north. From there, let's now come to the east of India. In the eastern part of India, of the 142 seats, the NDA is leading on 81, the India Alliance on 53. The India Alliance up 21 seats in the east of India. From there, let's now come to the west of India. In the western part of India, on the 143 seats, 99 for the NDA. That's 27 down from the last time in western India. The India Alliance is at 40. That's 26 up from the last time. The Congress itself has 22. From there, let me now come to the south. In the southern part of the country, NDA at 50, 16 up from the last time. The India Alliance at 78 up from the last time. Last, let me come to the Hindi heartland. In the Hindi heartland, 143, 54 down from the last time at this moment. The NDA, the India Alliance is at 79, up 66 from the last time. The BJP 128, JDU 7, India Alliance 79, out of which the Congress has 31 seats in the Hindi heartland out of 226.
And just what you said just now is also a story. JDU contested 16, is leading only in 7. So the JDU is the one, as we expected. Nitish Kumar is on the decline. He's taking a hit in Bihar. So it's not so much the BJP in Bihar, it's the NDA and the JDU in particular.
The big story is the Congress's vote share. The exit polls predicted that the Congress's vote share would be 21 or so. At this moment, of the votes that have been counted, the Congress's vote share is almost 9% more than the exit polls had polled. The exit polls did get the BJP vote share right, 40.2,
so
which is roughly where it is. The big story is the turnaround in the Congress's fortunes. So the BSP crashing down to 2.2.
Rahul, one point. While the mentioning the exit poll today is not that happy a thing, but one data point that the exit polls had given is that the 18 to 35 group in BJP-ruled states were moving away from the BJP. That seems to be playing out.
Yeah, the 18 to 35, the youth.
And Rahul, talking about Congress vote share increasing, I think some credit should be given to Rahul Gandhi for Bharat Jodo Yatra. That is being
If this is it,
instrumental.
Rashid, then all the credit. If this holds, then all the credit goes to Rahul Gandhi. If this holds, then
Congress and
yes,
Rahul
then it's the
Gandhi.
Congress.
So
Yes.
it is Rahul Gandhi who's taken this
Yes,
message all
absolutely.
over.
Okay, I want to look
If
at
these
the
numbers hold.
Yeah. I want to look at the heat map. It gives you a sense of the trends. Remember, now you're at a sample much bigger than any post-poll study. Of the votes that have been counted, the NDA has 50% plus votes on 124 seats, 40 to 50% votes on 111 seats, 30 to 40% votes on 48 seats, 20 to 30% votes on 26 seats, less than 20% votes on 34 seats. If I look at the India Alliance, this is called a vote density map. The darker the colors, the more the weights they're getting there. The India Alliance has 100 seats where they're 50% plus votes, 120 seats where they're 40 to 50, 62 seats where they're 30 to 40. If I do now a comparison of how these parties are playing, it will give you a sense of which seats are competitive. Okay, just bear with me for a moment as I explain this. So any seat which is 40% plus, these seats are still in the fight. Seats where the NDA or the India Alliance is not doing well, those are seats which are 40% and lower. So there are 58 seats where the NDA is only between 25 and 40. The India Alliance is 82 seats. But the bulk of the seats, the bulk is here, 40 and above. So if you see, it's very competitive. This election is still very competitive. The way to read this data is, the moment either side starts dominating seats which are 50% plus or 40% plus, you know that the election is moving in that direction.
And if I may just add, Shankar, when you look at those numbers, last time we had said it was 224 where they were 50% plus, and the other side was less than 50 where it had 50% plus. That has doubled and they have halved. So effectively the NDA vote share in these key in many of their dominant seats has halved. It's a turnaround. You know, it's seats where you won by a big margin, you're losing this time. It's almost as if there's anti-incumbency of different kinds. Anti-incumbency against sitting MPs in north and west, anti-incumbency against sitting MPs in the eastern coast of the country. It just shows, ye janta hai, ye public hai, ye sab janti hai. Exit pollster, chodo, public pe vishwas karo. No. Public is speaking,
but the key thing to look at is that this election is intensely competitive at this moment. Different rounds of counting have happened in different seats. You look over here, 40 and above. This election still has these alliances quite close to each other. It's not as if the NDA is running away with this election. The India alliance is very much in the fray. If I look at the seats where the margin calculate, I'm going to call upon my margin calculator and tell you seats where the margin between the leading candidate and the runner-up is less than 5,000. 317 such seats. The NDA leading on 162 of them, the India Alliance on 137. The India Alliance has 58 leads from the last time. 56 for the Congress, 15 for the Samajwadi Party, 16 for the Trinamool. In any case, no matter how this ends, Rashid Saab, the Congress will think they're in with a chance. 5 years from now, elections and politics will be more competitive because this is not proving to be a 400 par election.
Absolutely, Rahul. I think it's an extraordinary journey on the part of Congress. Here was Congress were written off by almost everyone. And they got into the act, Bharat Jodo Yatra, plus alliances, plus Mallikarjun Kharge's experience. Only thing they lacked, I think, in the eastern part, because if they had some kind of alliance in Andhra and in Odisha, things would have been very, very different.
You know, the fact at the moment is, I've often said Mumbai is also a bellwether city. Look at what Mumbai has done. In 2014, 6-0 to the NDA. 2019, 6-0 to the NDA. And the NDA got clear majorities, Rahul, both the time. This time in Mumbai, it's 3-all. And 3-3 reflects what's happening across the country, that the election has got tightened. And it is...
3-3 is like 1998, actually.
That's right. You know, very much, you're absolutely right, Shankar. What we used to see in the 90s were elections where even in Mumbai, election would be seat by seat. What we are seeing in 2024, effectively seat by seat, when the Prime Minister of the country also is leading only by 1,000 or 1,500 votes at the moment, when you've got Nitin Gadkari leading by 750 votes, it shows even heavyweights are struggling at the moment.
There is a very interesting data set I want to show our viewers for the first time. This is called a stronghold calculator. Stronghold are those seats which a particular party has won in every election for the last 3 elections. If I look at a stronghold scanner, the NDA at this moment is trailing on 20 stronghold seats. When you start trailing in your strongholds, it means the match at this moment is not going well for you. Seats which... No, all are BJP's seats. Seats which the BJP has won in every election for the last 3 elections. They're trailing on 20 such seats at the moment. The Congress is leading on 12 seats, SP on 2. So the Congress's stronghold scanner is actually much better. The Congress leading on 12 seats which they've held in every election for the last 3 elections. The Congress is doing better in its fewer strongholds than the NDA. What I can do is give you a strike rate. At this moment, the NDA's strike rate is 53%. They're leading on 53% strike seats. The India Alliance strike rate is 41. 289 versus 222. If I look at the direct fights, now this is interesting. In the direct fights, there are 149 seats, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment where the fight is BJP versus Congress. Either BJP is 1 or Congress is 1. Out of those, the BJP is leading 72. But there are 28% seats, 41 seats where the Congress also is leading. In the last 2 elections, the Congress got hammered at the hands of the BJP. This time, 3 out of those 10 seats, they seem to be doing well. In BJP versus TMC, where BJP is 1 or TMC is 1, 18% to the BJP, 82 to the Trinamool. So that means that the Trinamool in a direct BJP-Trinamool battle is doing well. Let's look at BJP versus BSP in seats where BJP and BSP, okay, there are not too many seats and BJP is leading those. In BJP versus SP seats, 55 for the SP, 45% to the BJP. This is a big story. Akhilesh Yadav, his father was a wrestler. in that bout that's going on with the BJP at this moment, leading on 30 seats where the fight is directly SP versus BJP.
And you know, he has gone where his father didn't go. His father focused on Muslim Yadav combined. Akhilesh decided Pichli, Dalit, Alpsankhyak, create a new kind, Pichla, Dalit, Alpsankhyak, create a new equation, PDA. It seems to be working, but we have to go toward hot air. Hot seat, cool air. Hot seat, cool hawa. My daughter who's watching the channel is telling me, please don't get overexcited, you're going to get a heart attack. I'm not getting a heart attack, my dear, but let's go to hot seat, cool hawa. I need some cool hawa. First, cool hawa is not so cool at the moment for Smriti Irani, because this could be the turnaround. She defeated Rahul Gandhi 5 years ago. This time, Kishori Lal Sharma, chosen virtually from nowhere, has spent his life in politics in Amethi, is leading at the moment. So Smriti Irani facing a real challenge, and it's a sign of the time. We go to neighboring Rai Bareli. Rahul Gandhi is clearly getting a cool day. He's had a tough time in the last 10 years. This is Rahul Gandhi's at the moment day out. He's winning both in Rai Bareli and Wayanad, and he's leading there. New Delhi, which is where I vote at the moment, is where Basuri Swaraj is taking on Somnath Bharti. Remember, Somnath Bharti said he would shave his head off if the exit polls were...
Well, he's close to shaving his head off.
But at the moment, Basuri Swaraj is leading, but in his constituency. Northeast Delhi, interesting constituency, Kanhaiya Kumar versus Manoj Tiwari. At the moment, it is Manoj Tiwari who could be poised for a hat-trick of victories there in the Northeast. Let's turn to Baramati, which is really a hot seat, cool hawa. If there's any seat which is truly hot and hotter than where I'm sitting at the moment, that's Baramati. And at the moment in Baramati, it is Supriya Sule who is leading. So close to where Shankar lives in Pune, at the moment Supriya Sule is winning the battle of the Pawars versus Sunetra Pawar. Is there any more hot seat left? Trivandrum, Tiruvananthapuram is a hot seat, like where I'm sitting again. Cool hawa is coming to Rajiv Chandrasekhar. 2 seats at the moment, Thrissur, Suresh Gopi, and there in Tiruvananthapuram, Rajiv Chandrasekhar could be one of the giant killers of this election. Then we turn to Mandi in Himachal Pradesh. Kangana Ranaut, hot seat, cool hawa, as my director keeps reminding me, is there between Kangana Ranaut and Vikramaditya Singh, son of the late Veerbhadra Singh. Kangana Ranaut is leading at the moment. Good day out for the actors. Suresh Gopi, Raj Babbar, Kangana Ranaut, but Arun Govil. Dekho, even Ram sometimes cannot save you. You can act as Ram, but you've got to be Ram.
So I want to pull out the margin calculator. The margin calculator tells you the gap between the candidate who's leading and the candidate who's runner-up on those seats. So if you look at the margin calculator, I'm looking now at extremely close fights where the gap between the party that's leading and the party that's runner-up is less than 1,000 votes. There are 201 such seats out of 543. Out of these, the NDA is leading on 107, down 16 from the last time. The BJP has 95 leads. The India Alliance is 83, up 31. What this means is these 201 seats can switch anyway. These are insanely, intensely close battles that are currently on these 201 seats. If I go on the other spectrum of the margin calculator, there are only 10 seats where the margin is now more than 1 lakh votes. 8 of those are for the BJP. All of them to the BJP. India Alliance only 1 seat, which is the Congress, which is Khammam, where the margin is already more than 1 lakh votes. If I look at seats where the margin is more than 50,000 votes, these are seats that have relatively settled. NDA leading on 27, India Alliance on 9. If I come now to seats where the margin is less than 5,000, which means they're still in contest, 278 such seats, 146 for the NDA, 116 for the India Alliance, up 46 the India Alliance.
What's the margin there, you said, Rao, in these seats?
No, 5,000. These are seats where the margin,
as of now,
at this moment,
is less than 5,000.
At this moment.
You've got 146 playing 116. So this result could go either way. Either NDA could pull up or Correct. India Alliance catches up. Both possibilities exist now.
The seats which are closest fought are where the margin is currently less than 1,000 votes, because that can literally, as the rounds of polling happen,
But even 5,000 is nothing in a Lok Sabha
5,000 in a Lok Sabha is very little. So 100 leads for the NDA on seats where so on 100 seats, out of the 293 you see on your screen, there are 100 seats where the NDA's lead is very slender. Out of the 217 seats or 219 seats you see for the India Alliance, there are 79 seats where the lead is very slender. This is a very exciting match that's going on. Rajat Sethi, 400 par doesn't seem to be happening this morning.
Only Brian Lara could go 400 par. And Rajiv Gandhi, of course,
you know,
politically.
slog overs are left, Rahul. I still
Well
believe
said.
in slog overs.
Well
छह
said.
छक्के पड़ेंगे एक ओवर में गेम इधर का उधर हो
बिल्कुल,
जाएगा.
बिल्कुल.
We've
That's
come
true.
out of IPL season. So enjoy your breakfast, everybody. Have your teas and just
Well,
wait.
you know, the worst
Let
thing
it
about the
settle.
IPL finals this time was it was so one-sided.
Yeah.
At least this is not a one-sided match. It's exciting.
And the exit poll, because my uncle in Goa wanted to know what he lives in Goa and sort of votes in Goa. Viriato Fernandez is leading at the moment of the Congress over Pallavi Dempo. Remember, Pallavi Dempo was brought in as an outsider, many people thought, in Goa. Of course, comes from the Dempo family, but was not in politics. Was brought in there, woman candidate. We've not had a woman winner in Goa in an election since the late Shashikala Kakodkar. But at the moment, Viriato Fernandez is leading. So my uncle there, Mr. Sardesai, is I've given you that result. And Shripad Naik, dominant as always, leading Ramakant Khalap in
I
North Goa.
created a visualization which I didn't think we'd need to use. This is called the roots of power. You know, we used to do it. Dr. Roy used to do it back in the day. I thought it wouldn't be required, but here it is. The BJP has 244. By itself, the BJP isn't close to 272 yet. The TDP has 15. The Eknath Sena has 7. The Janata Dal United of Nitish Kumar has 7. The LJP of Ramvilas Paswan has 5. The JDS has 2. The RLD 1. JSP 1. So the BJP by itself at this moment short of majority. The NDA has crossed the majority mark, 294. The India Alliance is at 200 and 219. And Congress is at 100. Samajwadi Party at 33. Trinamool at 23. DMK at 20. RJD at 8. NCP Sharad Pawar doing very well at 7. Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena at 5. CPM at 4. AAP at 4. NC at 2. CPI at 2. IUML at 2. This is a much more evenly placed battle than would have been thought.
And UBT Shiv Sena not doing as well. Sharad Pawar has contested 10 seats. This is his best performance if he's ever. You see, if he wins 7 out of 10, that's a 70% strike rate. Doing very well. UBT. But can you tell me who the 31 others? At some stage, Rahul, can we even get a sense of the others, or will that take some time?
TMC is in others, but they put TMC in India Alliance.
We put TMC in the alliance.
Okay,
You know, they were
that's
India
an
Alliance. We
important
treated them as
Others
an
are
India
in
Alliance.
purple color. Others are in purple color down.
So the others, I have them. 9 are independent, 5 are AIDMK, 4 is YSRCP, 2 is Shiromani Akali Dal, 2 is AIMIM, 2 is BJD, 1 is BRS. That's the way one is SKM, 1 is ZPM. So that's the way the others are. The others at this moment are in the purple at the bottom of your screen.
Rahul, in those others, and Rajat is saying he's been doing a survey there which showed that AIDMK is winning 5. You know, don't write out
Only voice when it came
So
to
what
Tamil
explains
Nadu.
that? What are you
See, there was a anti-incumbency wave A. B, BJP's alliance equations were wrong. And in Kongu Nadu belt, where the Gounder votes are there, you were seeing maximum, resurgence of ADMK's assembly.
Let's actually
Many of these lines could be from the Congo belt. Which are
Congo
those
belt,
5
yes.
seats?
So
let's just look at that.
Karur, the Erode, and
Correct
those
me if
kinds
I'm
of-
wrong. Last time, 39 out of 39 to the 38 out of 39. 38 out of 39. O Paneer Selvam's son was the only victor from the other side. This time, India Alliance in Tamil Nadu is leading in 34. AIDMK leading in 5. NDA 0. Now here we had predicted, opinion polls said BJP will win 4, 6. We were talking about BJP's role. On the other hand,
So
the
tactical
BJP could be
error
creating
by
a
the
slice
BJP.
of history, Rahul, not in Tamil Nadu, but in Kerala. Because at the moment, NDA is leading in 2 in Kerala, and the 2 other seats, they had their best chance in Thrissur. Suresh Gopi taking over from the CPI and K. Muralidharan, the son of Karnataka, contesting from there against him. And Thiruvananthapuram, where Rajiv Chandrasekhar is leading as of now, small margin, but leading over Shashi Tharoor.
The story that's emerging is the story that's coming from rural India, ladies and gentlemen. Out of the 343 seats classified as rural, where more than 60% of the people live in rural areas, the India Alliance is up 70 seats from the last time. 136 leads, 55 of those for the Congress, 30 for the Samajwadi Party, 14 for the Trinamool. The NDA is down 42 seats in seats classified as rural seats. The BJP at 150, the JDU at 7, This is a big story because if you look at the urban pockets, in the urban pockets, the BJP is holding on. 38 leads for the NDA, just down 1 from the last time. India Alliance at 18, up 3 from the last time. The story is being written in rural India. If I come to semi-urban seats, where the population in urban areas is 45 to 55%, it's a dead heat between the India Alliance and the NDA. Rural distress, Rajdeep, will be discussed a lot if this trend holds at the end of counting. It's in rural seats that...
Discuss. It's a Thanda election. We
But
kept
we said
talking about
Thanda
it.
kuch nahi hota.
No, but look at this. It seems like, at least if you look at this data, that so many BJP
But Rajat, it
voters
wasn't
not...
a Thanda election on ground.
But Rajat,
to be honest, it wasn't
initially,
a Thanda
like,
election.
so
What was it? Tell us, why did you think it was not a Thanda election on the
Number
ground?
one, because 80% of the constituencies that I visited were rural. So there is acute rural distress,
What was
which
the
we
issue?
don't have.
When you say rural distress, what
I
was
have
it?
to say, they were, okay, like at one end, what worked for the BJP was, the fact is, if Russian is your biggest calling card, that means there is rural distress.
Well put.
So, number one. Number two, what one thought, Berozgari is a huge problem. People are jobless. They want something more than just that 5 kilos of ration. So it was difficult to call Rajdeep because at one end you heard ration, ration, ration. So one thought that ration is working. But if ration is your pull, then there's a lot that's pulling you back.
I think that's well said. And one of the things, for example, in Maharashtra, a state which has suffered, Shankar, for the last couple of years from drought, you could listen to the farmers and they were angry. The one state where I saw anger was the state of Maharashtra for a variety of reasons. They said, Netyankade khoke ahet. Khoke meaning in Maharashtra had become synonymous with the crores of rupees that they have. And amchi sthiti baga. So that inequality question in Maharashtra stood out. So to me, around that graphic, I think, is the other story of this election. A sharper...
But there is another trend as well, which really needs to be looked at. Now, suddenly nobody is finding EVMs to be all gapla. Now EVMs seem perfectly bona fide and legitimate. Because अच्छा हो गया ना कि अब कम से कम सब send हो गया. No, but really, because it started with everyone saying EVMs are fixed, the election is fixed, it's all stolen. It's not. Yeah, respect the process.
Election Commission increased the vote share by 6%.
Now what's happening?
All of 6% is going to Congress.
Rahul, very quickly, can you tell us the assemblies of Odisha and Andhra? A lot of people want to know, is there any difference in what's happening in Odisha and Andhra in the assembly? Particularly in Odisha, because there in the Lok Sabha it's a sweep for the BJP. Is it also, will BJP form a government in Odisha for the first time? Should we wait for that?
Okay, I want to move now to the assembly data. I'll start with the Andhra Pradesh assembly, 175 seats in Andhra Pradesh. The leads that we have is Telugu Desam at 103, 80 up from the last time. YSRCP getting hammered down to 17. Down 96, the BJP at 4, the Congress blanking out in Andhra Pradesh. This is Andhra Pradesh.
I think the story from Andhra Pradesh is that it's a wave. You never should write off any politician. Chandrababu Naidu has come back and come back with a bang.
Absolutely.
And in Odisha, the BJP is ahead. 50 leads for the BJP, up 37 from the last time. 33 for the BJD, down 39 from the last time. Odisha, the BJP is doing well.
But it could still go to the wire given the fact that you still have about 50 constituencies to count. So, I mean, the advantage with the BJP's good news is coming from the east coast of the country, as we keep reminding. Rahul Verma, you've been saying that for a long time. Peninsular India is changing, right?
I think.
And what is changing there, you think?
I think if we look at this number, what seems to be happening, that BJP has definitely made inroads in the new territories. What is also happening, perhaps they are suffering much more losses in the core areas than they would have anticipated. Across the northwest, Rajasthan, Haryana, UP, they are making big losses. And I think, lots of people who had traveled on the ground were telling the story about why elections might have become tougher in these parts of the country.
So this is a fascinating visualization which in one image captures what's happened so far. If I look at the gains and losses of the BJP is down 1 seat in the east, 53 down in the Hindi Heartland, 38 down in the north, 2 down in the south and 23 down in the west.
So Maharashtra and the two biggest states, Rahul, the story is the two biggest states of the country, UP and Maharashtra, is where the BJP is taking their big hit.
The Congress is making a comeback in the Hindi Heartland, up 25 seats from the last time. On a low base, but 25 up. In the north, they're up 13. In the south, they're up 13. In the west, they're up 20. In the east, they're up 7. Nalin Kohli now joins us from the Bharatiya Janata Party. The BJP was hoping for 400 par. this doesn't seem to be a 400 par kind of election. At this moment, the BJP is not even close to the majority mark. Mr. Kohli, what are you making of the trend so far?
Rahul, I think that's a fair assessment to say that 400 at the moment certainly looks distant. But I think given your experience and your colleagues on your show and the fact that I've been also 22 years in the party, I think we need to wait for the 6th or the 7th round to have a final picture of the seats. Because in terms of the exit polls speak of a massive sweep. The counting trends currently don't seem to match that. The exit polls are by and large necessarily based on the assumption of the final outcome, not the midway. So I'm prone to say 3 or 4 things. That the BJP NDA will form a government. That trend is very clear from the start. Where this number is going to be, we should know by about 12:31. If it's hotly contested in a few seats, 20, 30, 40 seats,
would you admit,
then those will need to shift till about 2. Yes,
but Nalin, you must accept that in contrast to 2014 and 19, this is not a one-way street. Whatever the final number, it's been more competitive. And therefore, if you end up, let's say, in a worst-case scenario, below 272 on your own, how will you interpret that?
So it's early, Rajdeep, to first conclusively or even take a position in terms of saying that we would be below 272. It's early. Second, in terms of 2014 and 19, I think let's pause for a minute. It is the third election. And I think in a third election, if the BJP NDA is already showing a clear majority, that's highly credible. Because the only time you've had 3 consecutive governments is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. The first also being a sort of a nominated government, but nevertheless, the credit goes to him for being in the first government. So 51, 56, and they are after again in the 60s. And therefore, if the BJP NDA pulls it off, this is just something that's happened twice in the history of independent India. So it's premature to take a stand that would be negative.
So was 400 par always a bit of a psychological operation? Was it a jumla? What was for 400 par?
Perhaps neither. I'm not qualified to comment on the psychology part of it because by training or profession, being an advocate, I don't need to deal with that aspect unless a case comes to me. Perhaps you may, Rajdeep, because you all deal with body language and make assessments of the entire picture.
I'm looking at your body language.
However,
you're not
that's on a lighter note. On a more serious note, 1 minute. Oh, Rajdeep, come on, 1 minute, Rajdeep. Rajdeep, let me finish my point. We are only having a little light banter. On a serious note, I think, look, we are entitled to, as is any party, entitled to say this is our target. And why should we not have a wish list? I don't see anything wrong with that. So, I mean, having a wish list is not a jumla. Having a wish list is something good. But somebody desires to be, say, the top anchor of a channel. It's a wish list. Some of them may reach number 2, some number 3, some may reach the top.
Right. Mr. Kohli, it is too early, one must admit, but if you look at the Hindi heartland, the party which till now touted itself to be the Hindi heartland, the king of the Hindi heartland. Look how you're doing in Uttar Pradesh, look how you're doing in Rajasthan, look how you're doing in Haryana.
So, Preeti, let me first make one thing clear. A result is a result. And it has to be accepted, which is a matter of no choice, because that's democracy. So my first political point here is, to the Congress and every other political party was screaming that the EVMs and the electoral process is bad or flawed or motivated or malafide. They owe an apology to the country. And I'm making that clear on TV, and I will wait to hear if they come out with an apology, because if they are getting the kind of numbers that are there, they certainly owe an apology to the Election Commission, and they owe an apology to not just the Election Commission, but the voters of India and the officers who toil in 45 degrees plus to take those voting machines and stand in booths, along with the agents of all political parties and the people who stand there and vote.
I want to show our viewers the direct fight calculator. What this means really is seats where the fight is directly between 2 parties. The story of this election is that the Congress is putting up a better fight in a direct head-on contest with the BJP. At this second, there are 170 seats where the fight is BJP versus Congress. In the last election, the BJP had won 90% plus such seats. At this moment, the BJP is winning only 68% of the seats where it's direct BJP versus Congress. The Congress is winning 3 out of 10 seats where it's BJP versus Congress. This is what needed to happen for this to be an exciting election. The Congress is leading on 55 seats where the battle is directly BJP versus Congress. Nalin Kohli, would you concede that maybe the Congress wasn't given its due, wasn't treated the way it should have been, because in this battle, they're putting up a far better fight than anyone in the BJP would have imagined?
Well, look, one thing, Rahul, and you will grant this to the BJP. I think the BJP is a party that never sits down, whether in defeat or in victory. We assess it down to the last mile. And we study it and look at why and how we have done well. We study and look at it how we have done badly wherever we've done badly. And that's been the story for the BJP to become what it is today as the dominant political party and the party that has been in government for the last 10 years on a clear majority. Number one. Number two, there is an experiment, and let's look at it as political analysts for a minute, not in a partisan way. There is an experiment that we need to look at how it has worked, which is, let's say, Karnataka, where the BJP in the assembly lost marginally its percentage of vote, less than 1%. But then the other side, the numbers stacked up against the BJP and they got a clear sweep in the assembly. Now, that model having been seen, it raises a question which, Rajdeep, you've also used that word several times in our debates, is that, and ultimately, an election is a mathematics as also a chemistry. So now this fine challenge between the mathematics of a number that you build up in a pre-poll or a pre-poll alliance primarily versus the chemistry with the voter and how this alliance of numbers is translating in terms of a vote share onto the ground is a post-poll factor. You can only analyze it afterwards. Now, my reading at the moment, and I'm sticking my neck out to say so, is there won't be a national trend for you to have a figure like this to say that the numbers stacked up well but you lost there, or the numbers did not stack up well and you won. I think it will be a state-by-state thing, which is what I think is the strength of Indian democracy.
I take your point. I take your point, Nalin. In fact, the real story of this election is how it is turning to be state by state. I think, Rahul, since the last 15 years, we've been so used to landslide victories, we forgot there used to be an age where India used to fight elections state by state. So if you go state by state, you look at a Haryana, for example, it is showing very different trends where the Congress is leading in 7, NDA in 3 in a state which was 10-0 last time. And then you travel to a Madhya Pradesh where, Rahul, you have the BJP still holding its own. The BJP is leading in 29-0 in India. Think about it, 29-0. Then, very interestingly, Rahul, just the neighboring Rajasthan to Madhya Pradesh, where again there were elections just 6 months ago. Take a look at Rajasthan. And in Rajasthan, 13-11, 13 to NDA, India 11, tight fight. Congress has to ask itself, the Congress has lost out in a Madhya Pradesh and a Gujarat. Gujarat, inevitably, Prime Minister's home state, Home Minister's home state. But in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, if you can fight back in Rajasthan, you gave up in Madhya Pradesh.
If these are the numbers, then the Congress could have done much better. It came to the party too late. If, despite of the opposition, these are the numbers that the opposition is getting, then they could have done better.
I want to show Nalin Kohli.
They could have done better.
I want to show Nalin Kohli the level of anti-incumbency. Now, this comes out. Remember, all the insights that you're seeing on India today are backed by data, hardcore thorough. This is not just random opinion, pontification and punditry, hardcore data. At this moment, of the 303 seats that the BJP had won last time, the BJP is retaining only 68%. They're losing 32% of the seats that they held. Nalin Kohli, this would raise questions about the level of anti-incumbency. You're winning only 7 of the 10 seats you held in the last election, reflecting the level of anti-incumbency against your MPs and against the party on these seats.
So I think, Rahul, 3 comments here. The first being that our strike rate, and this is something, if I recall, I picked it up perhaps from your channel or it's perhaps on another channel, is that it's interesting to see the strike rate of the BJP through 2014 and 19. the strike rate was 60 to 65%. The number of seats we contested, 60 to 65%. So when you tell me 68% of the existing 303 seats we are losing, I actually disagree. It's in the zone of the strike rate of the BJP, because ultimately the strike rate is how much is your convertibility with the old candidate or with the new candidate in terms of the winnability of the seat. So the strike rate of the 60 to 70% seems to be holding on. The second figure was...
Sir, can I just... can I give... because we have the specific for the strike rate as well. Nalin Kohli, bear with me. Sir, bear with me for a minute.
Sure.
I'll show you the strike rate. This is the NDA strike rate. The NDA strike rate at this moment is only 54. The India Alliance strike rate is 41. The NDA is leading on 291 of 543. Your strike rate in comparison to past elections is substantially down.
So, Rahul, I think how I would go is there are two separate strike rates that we need to consider at the end of the election, which means later in the day or tomorrow. The first is the BJP versus the Congress strike rates. Because the Congress current strike rate is, if I recall, less than 10%. It's about 6 to 7%. The BJP's strike rate is about 60 to 65 or 68%. 60 to 70%, plus or minus 2%, 3%. The second is NDA versus the India Alliance, or the India Alliance as I call it. The India Alliance or NDA Alliance strike rate has to be seen separately. Mixing both will give an incorrect analysis.
I want to go phase by phase. For the first time, let's break this election into 7 phases, take you through how the parties and the formations have done. In phase 1, the India Alliance is leading on 59, the NDA only on 36. So India Alliance got off to a smashing start in phase 1, up 11 seats. Let's now go to phase 2. I'm putting out the phase-wise analysis for the first time in phase 2. The NDA took the lead, 49 leads, but 12 down from the last time. India Alliance in phase 2 at 38, up 15. Let's now come to phase 3. In phase 3, let's take a look at phase 3. 64 leads for the NDA, down 13 from the last time. 27 for the India Alliance, up 15 from the last time. Let's now come to phase 4. So NDA in the seats that we've seen across the phases losing ground. In phase 4, they started doing well. NDA 59, up 11 in phase 4. India Alliance 30, up 18. So phase 4 was the first phase where the NDA actually gained momentum. Let's look at phase 5. In phase 5, the NDA was at 30, down 8 from the last time. India Alliance at 15, up 7 from the last time. Let's now come to phase 6. I want to show you what happened in the penultimate phase. In phase 6, there were 58 seats. NDA at 32, down 12. India Alliance at 25, up 20. Let's now come to the last phase. Phase 7. Phase 7, the one that happened on the 1st of June, 57 seats there. India Alliance at 30, up 11. 22 for the NDA, down 8. Rajdeep, what that suggests is, except for one phase, which was phase 4, the NDA seems to have lost ground in every phase in this election.
And what it showed is what a number of us had sensed or had said after the first 2 rounds, that after that low voter turnout, that the NDA obviously got nervous. If you see, there was a feeling that they changed the narrative. You went into politics which was seen to be more polarized. Every time you asked them, they said, no, this is strategy. I think those first 2 rounds where turnout actually went against them, and a 7-phase poll. It's a strange thing. The longer the election went, it actually gave the opposition that came late to the party a chance to set the narrative.
True.
And the BJP was forced to respond. So you're actually seeing a fascinating election being, many thought a 7-phase election will fatigue out the opposition. What it actually did possibly is the reverse. It gave the opposition something to build on after the first 2 rounds. Yes, Shankar.
So it shows 2 things. That the Prime Minister and Amit Shah read the ground much better than anybody else when they changed the language and the rhetoric in the campaign in the next phases. The other thing that it shows is that they ended up responding to the narrative that was being set by the opposition instead of leading the narrative which was there till the beginning of the election. And that, I think, has sort of gathered momentum over the next few phases. Now, when you look at the numbers just now, it doesn't look anywhere near 400. It doesn't look anywhere...
no, 400 is, I think we should forget. 400 is over. Now it's a question, can I go 300 par?
Even the let's settle for 370 or let's settle for 350 looks like dicey.
No, because I, think
West
the other number which is going to become crucial now is 272.
Absolutely.
Because you see the BJP getting, Rajat, if the BJP doesn't get, by some chance, we don't know still the final number, doesn't get 272, does it change any of the equations? Does it make, for example, a Chandrababu Naidu a potential kingmaker to decide, look, I'll support you, but I have 1 or 2, 3 conditions? Does it weaken the Prime Minister's position?
So I think now every alliance partner would want to extract their pound of flesh, which they had been waiting for past decade or so, if the results hold. Also, if BJP gets lesser than 272, then even Prime Minister's reform agenda will see lesser elbow room.
You're going too far. Rajdeep, in the classical political science, in Westminster, model of parliamentary democracy, if an incumbent government, a single party, single majority government fails to get a clear majority, then the incumbent doesn't become a prime minister. That's
Come
the
on,
precedent.
where? The
Britain.
fact is they've gone in a pre-poll alliance. They've gone here in a pre-poll alliance under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi.
Single party majority. There was single party majority.
No, it may.
Twice.
No. On moral grounds, you may well say you don't have the same moral
Politics
power.
is all about.
But
Politics
the fact
is all about ethics and morality.
No. The fact is, legally, I've gone in a pre-poll alliance.
Look at Rajiv Gandhi in 1989.
Come on.
Look at Rajiv Gandhi in 89. 193 seats. He sat in a position.
There's a difference between 193 and if I end up with 250. If I end up with 250 in a pre-poll alliance and my allies have 30, 40, I'm not
talking about NDA not forming the government. I'm talking about Office of Prime Minister.
Why? How does that change? The election was fought under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi.
Mr. Kohli, if the BJP doesn't get 272, the question in the studio is, does it then at some level undermine the halo of the Prime Minister? If it had been 340, 350, 320, it would have been different. If it's not 272, does that then mean it's a weaker government than it would have been? Let Narendra Kohli respond to that.
So Rahul, thank you for that, letting me in at the moment. I heard the entire discussion. Very nice to see some of my colleagues. Shankar, nice to see you on TV after a long time. We are on the panel after a very long time. I just wanted to respond to Rashid Bhai. So Rashid Bhai, I'm a student of history and you also write biographies and follow the Congress party as a sort of keeping a history of it. I find your selective approach to this discussion which you just put interesting, and I'll now go to wear my history hat. I think you would do well to perhaps go back to the K.R. Narayanan formula, which talked of the pre-poll alliance being the way in which the government will be invited to this. The post-poll versus pre-poll was the K.R. Narayanan formula, which came in at that time, ostensibly to keep the BJP out. But then, therefore, you can't go to the 1989 Rajiv Gandhi formula, which is far before that. So what is the dominant thing today in Indian politics for the longest period now is who is a pre-poll alliance, and I'm sorry to put it as bluntly as this, there is only one pre-poll alliance in the country, that is the BJP NDA. On the other side, there is the concept of an alliance which does not exist as a national alliance. They are leaders meeting over a cup of tea as they are entitled to, enjoying samosas as they are entitled to, fighting against each other which they are entitled to in state after state. So there is only one pre-poll alliance, and therefore the NDA will be in any circumstance the one to stake that claim. There is no question of the NDA, BJP not staking the claim.
You know, if you look at the party-wise vote share, there's a very interesting trend there. The BJP's vote share has in fact gone up in the votes that have been counted so far from 37 to 40.7. That's almost a 4% increase in vote share. That's very substantial. The Congress's vote share also, which had crashed to 19, is at 27% from the votes that have been counted. Both these are substantial. What this shows is that it's becoming more bipolar with the Congress and the BJP being in contest at the national level. That's one of the trends that are emerging. The Congress's vote share up at least 7%, maybe even 8% by the end of it. The BJP's vote share also up 4%. But there were lots of people who are messaging and saying, we were planning to go to office this morning. Now it's so exciting. We're staying back and watching the election results on India Today intelligence dashboard. It's making it really exciting. At this moment, now the seats have come down. Seats where the margin is less than 1,000. There are only 62 seats at this moment. 35 of those leads are for the NDA. 22 of those leads are for the India Alliance, 30 are BJP seats. Only 62 seats now where the margin is less than 1,000. If I look at the seats where the margin is less than 5,000, there are 158 seats where the gap between the winner and the runner-up, the leading party and the runner-up, is less than 5,000 votes. The NDA has 76 such leads, down 18 from the last time, 71 where the India Alliance is leading, up 35. Now, if I switch to the other end of the margin calculator, look at where the seats seem to be clearly established in one way or the other. 35 seats where the margin is more than 1 lakh at this second. 30 of those are for the NDA, 4 for the India Alliance. So most of the seats where the margin is more than 1 lakh, the BJP is running away with those. Let's look at seats where the margin is more than 50,000. 94 such seats at the moment. The NDA is at 69 of those. 20 are for the India Alliance. So basically, the battle now is on seats where the margin is less than 10,000. And the interesting thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that almost half the seats in the Lok Sabha, 239 of them, are seats where the margin is less than 10,000 votes at this moment. The India Alliance leading on 118 of them, up 59 from last time. The NDA leading on 108, down 36. So this is going to be a long, long, long afternoon.
Therefore, let me intrigue, Shankar, just, and please follow up. The intriguing prospect is, the NDA could well cross 300 comfortably, and Rajat's smile will get even broader, or we'll have a long evening, because that 290 goes below 272. It's one thing for the BJP to go below 272, they still form a government comfortably. If the NDA by some chance goes below 272, then all options open up.
Rajdeep, 272 to bahut dur hai. BJP at this moment is leading only on 237. At this moment, the BJP leading only on 237. I know, but I'm saying far from BJP at 237 is very different from a BJP 272.
I have said below 240, below 240. So a BJP below 240 and Chandrababu Naidu with 22. Mr. Naidu calls the shots.
No, so here's the thing. Rashid, 1 minute. The Westminster theory was disproved by David Cameron when he shook hands with David Miliband. So whether Naidu will be the new Miliband in the formation?
In fact, every time,
but you know what,
he'll be like, forget Andhra, make me the deputy prime minister.
Rajdeep, if you look at the Maharashtra numbers, you have said Congress has been the kamzor kadi. Congress is doing phenomenally well in Maharashtra.